Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, May 3rd, 2024. My name is Sam Shalhoub, and it's time for your daily dispatch. First up, BRICS news. China says it will help rebuild Gaza if a stable ceasefire is reached with Israel. Now, it's interesting that they're willing to pour money into Gaza, and if memory serves correctly, BlackRock had made some suggestions about that, as well as Ukraine. Sure seems to me like it's a constructed breakdown of certain societies to be rebuilt by mega corporations in other countries. Just my opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. Turkey officially halted trade with Israel. Now, I know this is going to probably sound crazy to some of you, and most of you probably not, but I truly believe when it comes to Israel and it comes to, many countries, there are two different governments running. There are the government that has been in control for decades, if not centuries, in countries, and there are governments within those countries where we, the people, are taking over and making our voice known. Fortunately, I believe we, the people, are winning in most countries, and what we're seeing now is a power struggle between those two factions. Would love to hear your opinions on it as well. Yesterday, there was significant flooding across many parts of southeast Texas, as the Trinity River levels surge and the danger of flooding escalates. Now, I would encourage you to do some research on HAARP, that's HAARP. It's high altitude, it's a government-funded DARPA initiative with cloud seeding and weather modification, and I think there may be some of that in play here, as well as in the United Arab Emirates, as well as in Dubai. As you can see, there's many floods going on around the world, and I don't think it is a naturally occurring situation, but again, I'd like to hear your opinion on it as well. According to Badlands Media, a recent poll released on Wednesday indicates that vast majorities of Americans no longer have confidence in the media's ability to report the news. A staggering 83% of poll participants expressed concern that the media might present inaccurate information or disinformation of their coverage of the 2024 election. If you look at the numbers of viewers when it comes to CNN or MSNBC or any of the mainstream media, and you compare them to some of the larger podcasters, the podcasters are so far ahead it's not even funny, because people are tired of the, BS that mainstream media puts out. And this is just another indication of that. And I, for one, am glad to see it. Yesterday, there was a report that came out that criminals who seized Hamilton Hall at Columbia were professional agitators, not students. Of the 300 arrested at Columbia University overnight, the majority are not students. Now, we talked about this last week, or earlier this week, when I talked about two specific groups that were an integral part of what took place in the mostly peaceful protests in 2020, and it looks like this is more evidence of that. These are coordinated, what I would call a form of an attack on these learning institutes, as well as what happened at the airports a couple of weeks ago. And it's interesting to see that this is now coming out and people are recognizing it for what it is, a coordinated campaign to create chaos. And then lastly today, this week's cocoa price. Now, remember last week we talked about a ton of cocoa was going for $11,000 or some ridiculous number. Well, yesterday the market crashed and had their lowest price drop ever. So if anybody thinks that the stock market is accurate and that it represents the true earnings and losses of companies, this is a perfect example. It's garbage. It's a Ponzi scheme as far as I'm concerned. We won't even get into the whole hypothecation of stocks and all the other stuff. But again, I'd like to hear your opinion on it. These are just my opinions, but I think they're fairly accurate. I've been doing this quite a long time, and again, would like to hear what you have to think. So that's all we have for today. Please support this channel. Go to mypillow.com, enter in the discount code SAM, and get up to 80% off of all of your purchases. And in the meantime, I hope that you have a great weekend, and we'll talk again soon.